Zastrzeżenie. Informacje i materiały edukacyjne zawarte w niniejszym dokumencie mają na celu promowanie ogólnego zrozumienia i dialogu na temat przetwarzania informacji przez GANS. Nie są one przeznaczone ani nie powinny być traktowane jako substytut klinicznego szkolenia, doświadczenia lub osądu profesjonalisty w dziedzinie opieki zdrowotnej. Dla pacjentów i osób indywidualnych informacje te nie zastępują profesjonalnej porady medycznej, terapeutycznej ani opieki zdrowotnej. Nie mogą one być podstawą do podejmowania decyzji dotyczących leków ani innych metod leczenia. Czytelnicy, widzowie i słuchacze powinni zawsze skonsultować się ze swoim lekarzem, a w poważnych przypadkach natychmiast szukać pomocy u służb ratunkowych. Informacje dotyczące recept, procedur oraz stosowania urządzeń medycznych powinny być wykorzystywane wyłącznie przez odpowiednio przeszkolony i certyfikowany personel medyczny. Zastrzegamy sobie wszelkie gwarancje, zarówno wyraźne, jak i domniemane, w tym domniemanie gwarancje przydatności handlowej lub przydatności do określonego celu. Informacje są udostępniane tak, jak są i uważa się je za dokładne w momencie publikacji. Jednak to odbiorca jest odpowiedzialny za ocenę ich prawdziwości. Każdy przedstawiony przypadek dotyczy wyłącznie osoby, która go doświadczyła i nie ma zastosowania do innych osób. Każda osoba mająca problemy zdrowotne powinna zasięgnąć profesjonalnej porady medycznej i skonsultować swoje leczenie z lekarzem. Opisane tutaj procesy balansowania plazmy są naturalnym procesem wspierającym organizm, ale nie zastępują porady lekarskiej ani terapii, którym dana osoba już podlega. Zastrzeżenie. To jest moje prywatne zastrzeżenie, w którym chcę ująć parę wątków. Nie jestem przedstawicielem Fundacji Keshe, a jedynie poszukiwaczem wiedzy, tak jak każdy z nas. W żaden sposób, prowadząc ten program, nie jestem związany z Fundacją Keshe, nie występuję w jej imieniu. Jestem po prostu gospodarzem samego spotkania, z zamiłowania i chęci podzielenia się tak wielką wiedzą i jej pięknem, które każdy z nas posiada na tak wiele różnych sposobów. Wszelkie tłumaczenia są naszą interpretacją tego, co rozumiemy z wątków tłumaczonych. I jakakolwiek moja prywatna działalność jest jedynie moją osobistą formą zrozumienia wiedzy dzielonej przez Fundację Keshe i nie ma, jak i nie powinna mieć żadnego wpływu na interpretację Twoją lub działalność samej fundacji. Jeżeli wypowiadam się w tych nagraniach, są to wypowiedzi oparte o moje zrozumienie, osobiste doświadczenie, co nie znaczy, że MT Keshe miał to samo na myśli podczas nauczania. Dziękuję Wam za Waszą interpretację i zachęcam Was do wypowiedzenia jej na tak wiele różnych sposobów podczas tego spotkania. Wszyscy ludzie słuchający tego z każdego zakątka tej planety. Żadna wiedza nie była rozpowszechniona w tak piękny i zbalansowany sposób na tej planecie. Może nawet w całym wszechświecie. Posiadasz pełną zdolność osiągnięcia wszystkiego we wszechświecie. Nie ma potrzeby i nie ma powodu, dla którego człowiek nie byłby w stanie tego osiągnąć. Dlatego też, gdziekolwiek byś się nie znajdował, sposób, w który pokazałem Ci, jak wykonać cewki, podwójną cewkę w środku, wytwarzasz w ten sposób ciągłe i stałe pole grawitacyjno-magnetyczne. Jeśli umieścisz na nich CO2 i umieścisz cynk na nich, połączyłeś poprzez to emocję człowieka. Z czasem zaobserwujesz, że staniesz się bardzo pokojowym człowiekiem. Tutaj, zamiast posiadania galaktyk i wszechświatów i generowania połączeń w sposób magnetyczny, wykorzystaliśmy siłę oddziaływania pól magnetyczno-grawitacyjnych materii, aby zdominować i zdeterminować kształt plazmy. Nanotechnologia i nanomateriały, które zostały opracowane przez Was wspólnie na różne sposoby, za pomocą sody kaustycznej, prądu, ognia czy czegokolwiek innego, ma tą zaletę, że materia, nano i plazma są wszystkie takie same. Tak więc połączenie pomiędzy nimi jest silne i bardzo trwałe. Potęga technologii plazmatycznej i w sposób, w jaki ją powiedzieliśmy, jest poza wyobrażeniem człowieka. Teraz jesteś w stanie wytworzyć i kontrolować plazmę, która jest matką stworzenia wszechświata. Otrzymaliście nasienie esencji stworzenia. Fundacja nie należy do nikogo i nie jest już dłużej tworzona przez jedną osobę. To wy ją rozwijacie, to wy ją strukturyzujecie i od dziś tak to pozostanie. Wciąż rozwijamy tą technologię bez względu na imię, kolor skóry czy narodowości, które nie istnieją. To jest piękne, gdy widzimy chrześcijan, muzułmanów, Żydów i wyznawców każdej innej wiary, pracujących wspólnie i tworzących różne systemy. Już staliśmy się jedną wiarą, już staliśmy się jednym narodem, już staliśmy się jedną planetą. Musisz pamiętać o jednej rzeczy. Daty nie mają znaczenia. Dziś jest ostatni dzień chrześcijańskiego kalendarza, czy jutro jest początek innego. Jedna data połączona jest z drugą. Nie zatrzymujemy się. Pracujemy przez całą dobę. Zespół Fundacji Keshe działa bez względu na czas, położenie, religię, kraj. I teraz osiągnęliśmy to, co zamierzyliśmy. Meran Tawakoli Keshe. No dobrze, moi drodzy, to witam Was ponownie na kolejnym spotkaniu Polskiej Grupy Poszukiwaczy Wiedzy Fundacji Keshe. Trochę dzisiaj powiedzmy w inny sposób, bo nie dość, że dzień później, to jeszcze dzisiaj jest tylko i wyłącznie tłumaczenie, które każdy będzie musiał sobie przeczytać, nie ma lektorzenia. W późniejszym czasie będę puszczał to z lektorem. Natomiast, moi drodzy, myślę, że wykład jest bardzo ciekawy dzisiaj. I chcielibyśmy puścić dzisiaj zarówno część wykładową, która jest gdzieś około godziny, i po tym chciałbym Wam puścić pewne części informacyjne, które myślę też wiele osób zainteresuje z przestrzeni nie tylko języka polskiego, ale myślę, że to jest bardzo cenne, żeby każdy gdzieś to usłyszał, żeby też to wybrzmiało. A po tym wszystkim, jeżeli ktoś będzie miał pewnego rodzaju Twoje zrozumienia, którymi chciałby się podzielić, jak najbardziej zapraszam do wyrażenia siebie. No to bez większej zwłoki, moi drodzy, zapraszam na 588 warsztat poszukiwaczy.
Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops that has been presented by Mayran Keshe. And once again, we have the pleasure of his presence here, and I believe he is ready to begin today's workshop. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hi, thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever and wherever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back as usual, and we endeavor to add to the knowledge. As I said before, in the past few weeks, in a different ways, we tried to open up and add into the knowledge of the cosmic rays and cosmosic dimensions of the life in the space, as we are preparing man to start the travels of what are called the city from the village of Earth, the city being the universe. And when it comes to a new dimension and new, what I call bigger structure, one will see the whole universe. The principle of magnetic fields is the same. The interaction of the magnetic fields is the same. Does not matter if it's a cell of the body of the man, if it's a structure of the planet Earth, if it's a galaxy, a universe, or universe. One needs to understand the combination of the interaction of the fields. One needs to understand why they interact this way, and then one needs to understand what's the outcome. There is no effect if there is no interaction. And the magnetic field of this universe have been moving around, and there's a lot of interactions. One of these interactions, for example, as we become passengers of the universe, as at this moment of time on planet Earth, we listen to it, is a cosmic noise. How the sound is created. As is in the book number 2, how is the light of darkness, which still allows us to see through it, is created. What translucity means to us as a man with eyes, and those creatures of the universe who have no vision, but they still see the universe like the animals on this planet. We call it with the sonic sounds the mouse can found, but the food is even sublime. How do these people see the universe? How do they recognize where they are? There is no difference, but they work on a different level of the strength of the magnetic field of universe, which gives them visualization in the brain without the eye. We see that with the blind people. They have an understanding of, for example, an apple in their head, and they visualize it in their head, but they've never seen an apple. This is interesting. Some years ago, some of the knowledge seekers who've been involved with that are most probably listening, they know who they are. One of the princes of the royal family of Saudi Arabia was born without the eye color. So the eye is totally white. When she was born this way. There is no brown, there is no other thing, it's just a white eye, white material. We were approached and requested to see if we can give sight back to this girl. She was around about 13, 14. Material was made, and one of the knowledge seekers, as some of you did during Corona, technology of the Keshe Foundation as the Iranian nuclear pieces could not be at that time be transferred directly to Saudi Arabia. So the royal family sent an agent to Dubai, and the system were handed over in the airport from Keshe Foundation to the royal family. We had a strange situation with this case where the man who is a knowledge seeker in Saudi Arabia, and we see him around, of Indian origin, was not allowed to go and to see this girl. So we had to do things through back, what do you call it, outside door, inside. And get the response in how it was. In a matter of a few weeks, the girl could see black, could see red, could see colors. And this brought us a new dimension of understanding. How we imagine, we see when we don't have an eye. But how does this happen? This became part of the research that now you knowledge seekers use the headphones and you go places because the knowledge was learned from this 13-year-old girl. How we can transfer that she could see colors. When they put the red color, she says this is red. Nobody told her what it is. So we don't need that brown parts to see. We don't need the eye to see. That color radiates fields, which interaction with the brain condition of the fields of the man recognizes the color. This is why I always said, when you travel the space, you lose your mouth, you lose your eyes. These are too energy consuming and you don't need it because you strengthen the dimension of the soul, which does not need the physicality. Nothing in these teachings done if it's not experienced, and we tell you exactly what it is. Then it brings us back, how do we recognize magnetic fields? How do we understand the process of magnetic fields? As was in the intro, we said the emotion of the man or wars, if you look, when the man tries to literally bring it to a point where the Earth was in a given position in the universe, in this what you call solar system at the same time, created the emotion of anger, war. And then there's another element which in the world of the science of today, our scientists have not understood. We see it quite regularly. We see it on a regular basis. Is it spoken about? It's deliberated on and not understood. What does this mean? I'll draw this for you to understand and see what I call the condition of the knowledge. Today, we are shown the planet Earth in this shape. Oh, where is this thing going? They tell us the man of knowledge of space, the man of the knowledge of physics, they tell us the Earth is round. And they tell us our sun is this way, radiates towards the Earth. They tell us that we have a flat magnetic field and then it curves to the back. This is the flow of the magnetic fields. And then we see some magnetic fields which they flow close back into Earth. We have to understand how this field of the Earth, at a given strength, flows this distance from the center of the Earth, and how come this is close to Earth. But what they don't teach us, what we don't see in the present knowledge of the physics, is other parts, which these are fields which we have no understanding of the strength, that the field pressure of the sun cannot touch them, and some of them even connect to the sun in a different way. So misrepresentation of the science has stopped research and development, in addition to due to the lack of the knowledge of the man. And just because somebody said, we listen. These are the dogmas and these are the things which the new science has to overcome. So we have in fact to understand, why does this turn so close to and goes back in, or in other hand it goes out, part of it, and why is this field so distanced from the Earth? But we go back, which doesn't fit the knowledge of today, because then you cannot explain it. Then it comes the reality of one thing more, which is, how come at this front we have the daylight? It's the same magnetic field coming from the sun. Why can't the lights from the interaction of the Earth's magnetic fields and gravitational fields with each other don't turn to the back of the planet and create light in the backside, that we have a 24-hour light time, as we see in a way in northern pole or north part of the Earth solar system. And then we call these interactions, due to the compactness of the fields in this area, what we call the auroral lights. And we try to explain this in a different way. In fact, it's the same magnetic fields. It's the same understanding. But if you understand this picture, and you understand the logic behind the working of magnetic fields, man describes and explains this in a different way when it comes to another dimension. Again, we have a source which comes in touch with another source of itself, or different dimension of itself, with and through the same system, where we have interaction of a number of what we call suns and planetary system. We call them the neutrons and protons, and the conversion of this material, conversion of interaction of these fields leads in what we call in nuclear physics as atomic decay. There is no difference in energy transfer, as they show us in the back end of the Earth, magnetic field as above, to what exactly what happens in nuclear decay. It's the same process. And when the field energy interaction creates higher level, this structure becomes unstable if we have additional neutron in the system, which behaves as a proton of the other. In the world of nuclear physics, what is not even understood is that we just call them neutrons. You have so many neutrons in the center of the an atom. But in fact, every neutron has its own magnetic field strength. One has the magnetic field of the Jupiter, one has the magnetic field of the Earth, and one has the magnetic field of the, let's say, Saturn. And whichever interacts and delivers energy to the other creates a condition of pushing away, what we call nuclear decay. But what is important, and in the future man will understand, is this interaction and the structure of what we call magnetic field of the planetary system and the Earth creates interaction of the fields, which these fields, what we see as light, part of it, creates a friction between two magnetic fields that we have not understood, and we need to understand to be able to travel the span of the universe. In the nuclear decay, we see it as the departure or separation, and then which leads to the split of an atom. We call it a nuclear, and it can be measured half-life of so much, we call it, because each neutron in the structure of creating certain atom always has the same structure field strength neutrons. Half-life of the lighter elements is not as fast as, most probably in some of the isotope forms, as the others. If you understand this process, if you understand this part of the what we call physiology of the space, we come up with something very interesting, which I'm sure a lot of physicists will give their right hand to understand, but it's never been discussed, it's never been brought up. It's not brought up because the question has never been put, and man never thought about answering this question because it's beyond it. But if you look as the knowledge seekers, we brought this up a few weeks ago. If you go back to the teaching, we spoke about a magnet and the field which goes through it. And we spoke about planetary system, which we have been told the fields comes in from the north, I think goes south, and some fields come from south and they go to the north. But what is strange with this system is, again, man, scientific world, because cannot measure these, what I call interaction of the fields, have not understood. It shows as one way, but it's the two way. We call it in the world of electronics current and eddy current, where the blue is the current and the red is eddy current. But what is fundamental, and then it comes for man to understand in the future, because we have to, if we are traveling the spaces of the universe, to interact and to be repelled. So what does this mean? This means a very, very, very simple understanding of the truth about the world of magnetic fields. In the picture before, if I go back to, we showed the interaction of the fields of the universal magnetic fields with the interaction with the earth creates a light. And this light we see as visual. And some of these lights are reflected back out. But if we go back to this opens up a new Pandora box of knowledge. And this is where most of the cosmic rays, noises, and translucent lights in the universe are created. Where the rubbing of gravitational and magnetic field of one field strength creates noise and creates light. A large percentage of the light in the universe is created by interaction of magnetic fields, which don't come from a source, but in traveling the span of universe, rubbing against each other, they create packages, releases of energy fields that they become that also light. There is another part of the understanding. This becomes when we become the travelers of the universe. But in the same process, in the same understanding, we come to another point which is interesting for the man, and that is understanding of the totality of the process of the creation. What does this mean? This means that we were never aware of the sound and the lights which are created from the magnetic fields of the same element, and their effect on their environment, and the effect on the totality of the direction of the motion of the structure. What does this mean? This is very simple. We considered the light which created on the planet Earth. Now we go up. Let's do it another step further out. We have a galaxy with so many hundreds of billions of stars and solar system within it, with its own magnetic field. And this structure is facing what we call the center of the universe. The same process as here repeats itself. We see the interaction of the fields of the central line of universe, which we call it the black hole of this, which I, in the first paper I wrote about the creation of black holes, explain this, comes to this point, where the energy fields of the universe, the energy fields of what we call this black hole, in interaction with the fields of the what we call galaxy, it creates a light. The same as what happened on Earth. We see solar lights on the daytime of the Earth. We see universal light on the surface of the galaxy, which is facing a stronger field from the center, because the other galaxies around are in the same position. So when we become wise through the knowledge of the creation, and we become traveler of the universe and manage to cross the solar system and manage to cross the galaxy, we will see the same light. This light is so important. On Earth, if you are on the north hemisphere, due to the angle of the rotation of the Earth, you get lost in the woods. You have no understanding of dimension of the where you are, where is the north, where is the south, where is your east. What do you do? One of the first things they teach you in the world of survival is look at the trees. And you see where the branches go to. You pick up 5 trees, and the combination of the angle of the direction of the branches will show you where the south is, because our fields come in that way because of the twist and the tilt. So if you understand this and translate it to other knowledge, when you reach outside the what you call solar system, you look to see how our solar system, which side is brighter. That gives you the direction towards the center of the galaxy. Further, when you're outside the galaxy, you look which side of the galaxy is brighter. This gives you the way home to the center. You don't make a mistake going that way. And then, in a bigger scale of understanding the process, when you are out of our universe, when the knowledge of man understands the process, you look to see what is the light of your universe and how the other universes shine. This gives you direction to the soul of your creator, the essence, the source. So if you understand this process simple, from an atom, which we started here, going up to our Earth system in solar system, going to the galaxy, going to the universal line, we have the same process. Then, if you understood this part of creation of the magnetic fields from the interaction of the 2 similar fields or similar strength fields, you know if your field is in a matter condition, or if you go to this, you know the field, the strength is to the universe and the creator. The only problem man has at this moment of time to understand how each magnetic field from a magnet to the universal system like Earth and the galaxy means a measure. The measurement of today we have, where we call so much Teslas and the rest, is in a matter state. We have to, and to become man of space, to develop, measure what I call the magnetic field strength of the universal magnetic fields, which does not work in Tesla. Or Tesla is out of the scale. Once man understands this, once man, at the moment we see graduates from this nuclear decay, what we became nuclear and atomic, and join with the cosmologists, and then we join those who understand this process, then we find, with a lot of shake and bumps, the path in a way to our creator. And then it goes, one beautiful thing. This material, you call it nuclear decay. This material could be a combination of the Cohen amino acid in your body, has the same condition. And then what you see, what we always said, there is a common denominator which connects us to our creator. And it has a measurement, because if you cannot measure it, it cannot exist. So now you see how it's said, I made man in the image of myself, because I come in right on the top of you in every direction. I go through your soul, through your head, through your brain. I go through the solar system and the galaxies and the universe and the universe. Now you see the connection of the man with his creator. The only thing is, man has to learn one thing: how to measure these fields. And by measuring it, recognize, is it on the path to the creator, or is it like here, bending over to go back to itself, chasing its tail like a dog? This is why, as we see the progress of the peace, the funding and the knowledge and the money and everything else will go into this technology of a space very soon, where man stops fighting. And the finances of wars will become the finances of the path to the creator. Research and development on this scale will bring man to the point of maturity. We stopped the wars of religion, and now we see governments who are holding hand to each other to spend the resources of humanity for expansion of peace. And this is the time when we come in to give it a hand. They provide a peace facility, we provide the knowledge. And we show how to develop systems to be able to measure, maybe in a short time, by accident, or by deliberate acts of the teachers, we will find the path to the creator. That is not anymore in the holy books, but it's in the holy soul of the man. But one thing men have to understand, in depth and without failure, to recognize the strength of the field, which line goes back to the tail of the dog, and which line leads man to his creator. This knowledge has been hidden from man of the present time, but understood by those who are the traveler of space and gain the knowledge through what we call understanding of the work of the universe, and not creating false books and knowledge in the matter state of man. Newton's law does not apply in the dimension of the plasma. Somebody has to come up with a knowledge of the magnetic fields in the plasmatic condition and not in the matter condition, and then make a correction to convert the matter state laws of physics of the man to the space plasma condition. Some of these we have already shown you, some of these in a very simple ways. Over past 20 years I have explained to you. I keep on saying the factor of the energy of the plasma is maybe 60%, 50%, maybe 80% of its matter state. These are all part of the teaching to bring it to this point. But recognizing the line of life to your creator cannot be measured with the tools of present time, because it has to be felt by the soul of the man. That's your scale. That's your indicator. And if you look at it going back to the earth, taking this earth to be the soul of the man, and in a way taking the sun as the soul of the creator, how do you find your path? Different strength of the field of creator creates different lights. The light of the universe is not what the man is used to. The light of the galaxy in the universe is not the way we are used to. You go out there and look, oh, Mr. Keshe said we'll see the light of the universe. Yes, but you don't have the tool of the universe. The same goes with this, with the soul of the man. But you have to understand that, as I said many times, if I can get these two together, you still receive some of the fields of the universe, the soul of the man, and it enlightens you. And in so many ways, when you're asleep, you call it a dream. In some parts, maybe you have reached a level of understanding in the level of the soul of the man, you will see this light and you become aware of the existence of your creator. Where there is no light as you are used to, but it's the emotion, it's the feeling that you have come across, you have seen, and you've been with the soul, or have found the line to its source. So it means man has a couple of options. You become the processor yourself directly in some strength fields, but when you get this light from the creator, you get enlightened with the process of creation. When you go this way, you are enlightened through the physical matter knowledge, and God help you. How much diversions you'll get, and at each point, how many ayatollahs and mullahs and the priests and prophets you have to handle. Where this has no intermediary. And as we've seen, every entity has direct access to it because it comes from it. This is where the end of fake religions and the abuse of the soul of the man in the name of the religion come to an end. And when it comes to an end, Vatican is nobody there to be, we return the stones back to the Colosseum. Because that's a matter of state of the abuse of the physicality of the man. And man will see his destiny. Because he is enlightened to see, in a way, its own creator to all dimensions. Now you see what we have to do and what it needs to be understood to travel this plan of the universe through one line, and in every line has a problem. It's a scenery you see, you're happy to be seeing planetary systems and galaxies and the shape of the universe, or you can, in a way, jump, create the fields of the, what I call galaxial fields, and jumps from Earth to a galaxy, and jump into a universe as part of Unicos, and or whatever, when you understand the field strength of the magnetic field interaction within a plasma and not within an ion. You measure the fields in this, you travel in this. You measure the field of the plasma, you travel with the plasma. This has friction, this has limitations of the speed of light, the speed of all other rubbish man has come up with, where in the dimension of the soul there is no limitation. There is no limitation whatsoever, because there is no limitation understanding the essence of the creation between the soul of the man and its creator. And emotion plays a big factor. Emotion plays a massive factor in this direction. Because it's the path to the creator. Because maybe for the first time you might understand even the creator has emotion. Because if he didn't have, he couldn't have given. And then you have to find the magnetic fields of the structure of the creation of the man's plasmatic fields and his emotion to find your path to the heart, to the operation of the creation. And in a way, no plasma is made any different than another. Plasma in the cell of your body, plasma in the cell of a dog, in the cell of a stone, in the cell of an alien, in the cell of a galaxy, all have the same property and the same direction of the motion of the fields. As I said before, man says in the books of the man, I made man in the image of myself, because he understands only that. But in reality is, I made the universe the image of myself. And to have my image, and if I show my image in the emotion of the man, so I have to have an emotion. Otherwise man couldn't have it. Dogs wouldn't have it. The interaction of the soul of a stone in its atomic structure with my soul, therefore even the stone has an emotion. Because the interaction of the fields of its atomic structure as a plasmatic structure and my field gives it that emotion. In the coming time, as we expand on this in a much more detailed analysis and development, now you start gradually understanding the work of the universe. And the reason I brought this subject up today, to show the path of you directly to your creator, is to stop from now on the gameplay of religious and religious leaders and all the mayhem they have created. Because man has started to kick away the wars and concentrating on peace, concentrating on development of the nations to one nation. And now is the time when the tool is needed to be given that group of people to push with a new technology, with a new understanding that allows the diversion of the man's attention from wars to peace, to walking away from it, that allows man to open the doors of the universe to itself. You can shout and howl as much as you like, we want peace, but if you do not deliver a new structure, the problem of the man will go back to its older structure. A new path, a new understanding has to be shown to the man, that man chooses this path. And finds a way to his creator, finds a way to a new knowledge, that he forgets about the war. And we are there to support this evolution through the structure we set up years ago, and to the structure we'll set up to come to give the hand to those who start this process. And many of you understand how this process has started in the past couple of months. If we don't give this tool to the world leaders, they will not be able to deliver, to get rid of all the dogmas in science, technology, and the name of the religions, to be washed out, to be able to move. In a way, 2025 is the time of the destiny for what was promised as a promised day, where man reaches a point that there will be no war. As I said, we finished with the border imaginary line wars. Now we finish with the religious wars in 2025. And then we have to give that knowledge, this knowledge on the table, to the world leaders, to the man of knowledge, to not just to spend to make war tools to have peace one day in the future, that we don't make any war tools. We see the direction and we spend our time, science, technology, in the direction of understanding the totality, find the path for the soul of the man who's created. This is the reason we are here. Not only us, is you as knowledge seekers, as collectively, the dimension of knowledge has to be spread very rapidly. We are doing our work, it's your work to do. Do not be ashamed, do not be frightened of what they say, because the shame is on those who try to block, because of the way they've been blocked by the knowledge, by those who abuse them. This is what, primarily in a coming time, most of the teaching will concentrate. Understanding of the interaction of the fields of the plasma, measurement of these fields, creation of these fields, and conformation and transition of these fields to matter state or the other. One of the misguided words or problems of the man is this part, which we started with. What does this mean? This means very simple. You have the earth. You have the magnetic field of the earth, which are plasmatic fields. And if you look at it, it's the same thing. Why is some of these fields bent back in like the tail of the dog, and some of these move away, and some of these move this way to the sun, and then some of these move to the galaxy, to the unicos, to the creator? Would the knowledge of the man become so extensive that can measure and understand the reasons of everything going through the same, come up in different, what I call spaghetti of field strength? And one of the first things he has to answer, which has caused a problem by idiotic knowledge of Einstein, which has caused more problem for all of us in understanding the science than anything else, is they have told us, they have taught us that magnetic fields or light travels in a straight line and it cannot bend. If the magnetic field of the light cannot bend, how does and how come the magnetic field in other pictures and diagrams they show us goes back or bends to the back? There is no difference. If you cannot bend one magnetic field, you cannot bend any magnetic field. Call it the light, call it the sound, call it whatever you like. Universal laws applies to everything. Then it comes to understand how we get diverted. How do we go from the one process in a way to another with diversions? Or how can we maintain and, in a way, see the resources of the man directly? Why does this magnetic field in the world of the cosmology is shown to us as bending back and coming down and bending with the fields to go in the back of the earth, but it doesn't happen in the light? So the physics of today is wrong. The teaching of the physics is wrong because those who taught it never understood. We had a bad teacher. When it comes to the work of the universe, you have to keep an open eye. Does this field which we see here, which comes back in, is this in fact the line of the emotion of the earth feeling itself how to react to the other things which happens? There has to be, if this field goes away somewhere else, earth cannot react to it. If I don't kick you, you won't feel the pain to kick me back. I create with my kick your emotion to kick me back. So if the earth magnetic field feeds back into the earth, it creates an emotion to react to what it collected. Isn't this part of the seasonal changes and emotion? Man changes, feels, because now we move away from the source a little bit and back in forward again a little bit. So we have to find the magnetic fields, the emotion of the planet, the way we have with ourselves. We haven't managed to measure these things, and this is the dilemma. Then we go back again. How do we measure the fields which ends up in the galaxy? What the strength? Then if you understand this, the most beautiful thing is you have found the access to the what I call transmutation and transportation. The vertical systems, which you have seen in LINS, and we have shown it before, that system, if tuned the right way, will take the man to the creator. You do not need to land anywhere else. And if we tune it to the different field strength, it'll end up you in a specific planet on the universe or a specific galaxy anywhere in the universe. But so now we have to learn this. How to measure plasmatic magnetic fields, not the fake plasmatic magnetic fields which we have now in science, and the other governments are trying to create fusion. We've seen the French going 1,000 seconds, the other one 1,020 seconds. We know better because they haven't understood. They're trying to mix a matter magnetic field with the plasmatic magnetic fields, and they're in this dilemma. If the world of the science in the fusion understands is of putting magnets and putting current in it, put gases in it and direct it, you need 1 millivolt. And you get the same results because you open the plasma of the what I call matter state. And then in energy level, you always do. This is one of the reasons, if you understand this, I always said, fusion, the true fusion, is a dream which never come true. Because the tokamaks, the CERN, the French system, the Chinese system creates magnets and it creates electric power to handle a plasma. This is the problem you have as knowledge seekers, exactly the same as CERN, transmutation. In this world, there is no one plasma. It's a mixture of fields, and you can make anything out of it. They are trying to create a fusion for hydrogen. They haven't understood they can create a gold from the same process. But they haven't understood how. You don't get fusion from matter state. You get fusion, what we call delivery of the field strength, magnetic field, dependent on the location, time and place, and energy field in the plasma. And once our scientists understand, goes the same as what you've done as knowledge seekers. But unfortunately, with regret, our scientists have not managed to get to your point. You get the copper, you take it to its energy, and you take its energy back to feed yourself. And then you take this energy, bring it back in energy level, and make what you like. Because you only work in a plasmatic condition, you call it GANs, what I call time wasters of the world of science, call it takamaka. Confining the plasma over a matter state. I'm sure you've seen this. This is your skull, and this is your soul. Matter state trying to create the condition of the plasma and control it. There's no difference. This is, maybe man learns from it, but once you're knowledge seekers, once we bring open the knowledge of the plasma interaction in dimension, conversion to matter, in coming weeks, in coming months, into the public in a way, then you'll see no scientists will go to CERN. No scientists will spend so much money and so much heat. We have created billions of heats. How many of you have billions of heat in your rooms, in your labs, in your bedrooms, and your kitchens when you made the ganses? The only thing you haven't learned is how to manipulate it. How to bring different field of strength together to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And coincidentally and accidentally, if one of you manages to do this, you will see the creator and nobody else can replicate, so you become a liar. Because in the devotion, in correcting to bringing all the emotions together, to be in one path, finds your way to the creator. Because in that path, in that strength, all the fields of strength, in strength of gathering together, create the field of strength of the creator with all his emotion. Muhammad, bless his name, he says, if you read Quran, you find 99 names of the creator. And they're still looking for the 100th one. Because the 100th one is understanding the true meaning that the creator is a collection of all magnetic fields of all these names. Kindness is an emotion. Love is an emotion. But if you understood the emotion of the man in 99, for you to reach your creator, you need 99 to the order of 99 to gather all the emotions of the creator to find this path. As I said, man is not even aware of many emotions which will come to man as the man develops to understand the work of space. The latest one emotion is the emotion of transmutation. We don't have it in water. And how many of you have wished to do that? How many of you go through pain to transmute because you haven't learned the emotion of transmutation? The creator does it because if you look at it in a way, it comes from him to you. And it comes to you to him through the understanding of the totality. The beautiful word of Italians. All roads end up in Rome. All plasmatic magnetic fields of the creation end up with the Creator. It's man who has to find which Rome is his home, and which home is the home of his Creator. This is a science, not a religion. It is for you to understand the science of creation, to be able to achieve, to reach, to be able to find your own path to your Creator. This is why many times, if you've been with me and doing the teaching, I tell you one thing. Some of you devote your life. You serve the mosque, the church, the synagogue, and the fake names of all those leaders, and you never achieve to find out the strength, the path to the Creator. And a child in the womb of the mother reaches that field strength that in the womb of the mother departs, does not need to manifest to create a life to suffer in the dimension of physicality. In that way, if you understand, if the collection of the fields of the emotion of the man comes to a point, man will reach to the field of strength, which changes the dimension of emotion and his field the strength of the physicality and the soul. And in a hidden way, I showed this to you last week in the graphs of your own souls. You remember that line? You increase that line, you find it, it will find its way to the path of the Creator. Because it's emotion, and you've seen when that clicks, the physicality and the soul follow. Then you understand how important the emotion, how important the soul of the physicality is in the dimension of the man, in the dimension of the creation, in the dimension of connection of the man to his Creator. I made man in the image of myself because I connected myself as part of my fields, not only to the man as I radiate in all dimensions, to the all creatures of the universe. Understanding the science of the creation does not make man the man of Creator. It only makes man wise to understand the path to travel the span of the universe and enjoy the beauty of the creation. And if you understand this, then you understand how simply through the connection of the field of strength, you can learn languages instantly, you can travel anywhere instantly, because you use the field of strength of the magnetic fields of the plasma and not the matter state. And the tool for this was given to you, knowledge seekers, from day one, the Ganses. It's you who have to understand how to manipulate it. It's you who have to understand how to create it. It's you who have to understand how to connect that plasma to your soul to receive the field, the strength that you want, you need to manifest yourself, to travel the span of the universe without physicality and the rest. And then, if we even go deeper for you to understand, which I'll come to it later on in the teachings, is when we saw the fields coming in and the fields going out, and their interaction creating the light and the noise of that spectrum, then you learn something more. And that is, this interaction itself, by itself, at every level will create cosmic ray sounds and cosmic rays light. And this interaction of the fields is partially responsible for elusive light we see in the space. It's not created by interaction of the field of galaxies. Majority of the lights we see as translucent energy, light, transparency, comes from the interaction of the gravitational field of the universe with the magnetical, what is going back to the creation and the creator, and what is coming back to create more. And this light, this transient light, is the cosmic rays which man has not managed to achieve, to understand. And then if you do this, you'll find a way to the creator and back as you travel within the dimension of the fields of the universe, direct in the strength that does not cannot manipulated by the galaxies fields, universal fields, and unicos. If you understood the teaching of today, as I always say in the recent past, you have achieved the point to become much closer to understand the process of the creation. And from today, we are one step closer. For those of you who listen to us in Vatican, in Saudi Arabia, in Tehran, in Jerusalem, and the rest, to lay down the fake robes, hats, and everything else, and let the man to see, to find by his own the path to his creator. Now you have the knowledge what you have to do. Is the emotion of the creator's feel the strength which takes man to his creator, and not the fake names of the rockets, spaceships, temples, mosques, synagogue, and churches. All these buildings are like that skull on the head of the man. Is that a skull which does not allow the soul of the man to be free all the time with his creator, because he has that. Change this skull to the shape of a church, to a mosque, to a synagogue, and that's the limitation of the soul of the man to find his creator. And the knowledge is the path through it, not the ignorance and not control. Man with the new knowledge, with the way we have shown you, and many of you go through what you call transmutation, you travel by being in the system to surpass your, what we call calcium structure dome, the skull of the man. Now man has to break this from what is called his own imagination, dictated by those physical structure of the calcium, or what we call the bricks and mortar, and the fear created by the name of the religions by the man. As long as you have that fear of the what we call bricks and mortar, you are still in the same trap as the skull has created for your soul. If you understand the knowledge, if you understand the principle, we have brought an end to religions, the fake names used for what is natural to every man, from his creator to his soul. I made man in the image of myself. I didn't make man to have fears of me, but to be part of me. We go for a break, we come back, and we try to answer some of your questions. And as I said in the past few weeks, the teaching goes for the expansion of the man to understand the process of the creation and to free man from the village of the earth. is man who has to understand the process without the fear, but with the joy of existing and being part of that existence. Rick, take us for a little break and we come back and we'll see where we go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe.
No dobrze, moi drodzy, to mamy pierwszą część edukacyjną za sobą. Jakieś ciekawe wnioski ktoś chciałby zaprezentować ze swojej strony, to zapraszam. A ja przygotuję sobie teraz kolejną część z części Q&A, czyli pytania i odpowiedzi. W razie czego zapraszam. No dobrze, to teraz sobie posłuchamy, moi drodzy, jeżeli nie ma tutaj pytań, kolejnych 7 minut właśnie tłumaczenia bardzo ciekawej informacji, którą wypuściła Fundacja Keshe. Szczególnie tutaj mówimy o informacji od doktora Keshe. Sami zobaczcie, o co w niej chodzi. Zapraszam.
Okay, hello everyone. We're back at the 580th Knowledge Seekers Workshop and ready for the next part. And usually Mr. Keshe does have something to say before we begin the Q&A part. And I suspect today is no different. So please go ahead with any announcements or other further teachings you'd like to go forward with.
Thank you very much. As usual, we're still trying to expand the knowledge and for more people to understand the process of the creation of this knowledge, which is important for us in so many ways, that we gradually open the knowledge in a different dimension. And hopefully, somewhere down the line, step by step, knowledge seekers will pick up this and expand it. There are a couple of announcements which I put at the end of the teaching of last week. We will repeat this again and again in the coming weeks. Keshe Foundation, through our cooperation with other structures, we are looking for people who work or experts in the world of plasma, space technology, energy, medicine, wellness, sports, entertainment, production of materials, defense, and environmental. We want knowledge seekers who've been with us for long enough to understand the technology to become the teachers of the new structure of teaching, to become what we call the markers for structuring the new cycle of the work of the Keshe Foundation, which we will gradually over the next year or two we open up. info@keshe.foundation. Doesn't matter if you've been with us before, you wrote to us, whatever. You got to renew it. And if you're within a category we want, we'll ask for your CV and then we look at the structure. We are looking. Don't say, I just watch cars, what I need this for. Don't say, I just, what I call it, I'm a doctor, I don't have time. As I said to a knowledge seekers years ago, we'll bring you to it. Your soul bring you to us. It's time to bring the change. And you need knowledge seekers who understood the knowledge. This is what I said to a knowledge seeker before. And maybe has the truth in the work of the Keshe Foundation what to come. You're all like the first disciples because you learn the knowledge with the love and care, with the knowledge of wanting to bring the change. Don't look if you're a housewife and you understand all of it. Don't look if you're handicapped. The knowledge does not have a handicap. It's only in the head of the man. And now it's time to bring that change. And somehow is going to bring the change we are looking for in the international market. The condition is set and getting set, hopefully within the next 2 years, to bring that change about. And we have to be there to support it with the new technology. Otherwise, we have failed ourselves and the humanity to take that step towards opening the village of the earth into universal dimension. If you fit in, you don't need to be a full-time. Times you can help to bring that change. We'll tell you how and why, and we set a structure for it. And then you will see the things which we set up in the past, like KFTV, like the coin operation of the Keshe Foundation. Everything will fall in place. The structure of the Universal Council and Earth Council. It's time for everything we set up in the past, teachings and the rest, KFSSI Institute, the research and everything else to fall in place. The humanity is ready for that change because the environment has been made for it to be ready. And it's our responsibility to be. You don't do it for the Keshe Foundation, you do it for what you believe in. We are not another sect or religion or whatever to tell you we need this. It's your responsibility to bring that change. If you've been here and you learn enough, but the correct way, not just going and teaching the wrong way. We see this, as I said, if you're an ex-nuclear, if you're an ex-space, ex-materials, you know how to set up factories, you know how to set up tests, and you know you're an expert in writing research papers, in dispersing the knowledge, everything else is there for you to do. Keshe. info@keshe.foundation. And then there be people who respond to you in whatever, what we need, what is going to be there, what is the responsibility or position, and to bring that change. We are not looking to create something else. We are not setting up factories. We are not going into those kind of things. There's a structure we set up and it's following up that allows the rapid expansion of the technology worldwide. And we have the support of those who are there behind us to bring that support, that change. Putting this aside, Keshe Foundation in its structure still is the same, and we are ready to serve. Not only ready, we've been serving long enough. Rick, do you have any questions? Oh yes, before I forget, I just received a note
Dobrze, tutaj to jest ta jedna z części, którą uważam, że warto gdzieś sobie zapisać nawet. Fajna informacja. Myślę, że wielu też poszukiwaczy wiedzy czekało na coś takiego. Teraz pozwólcie, niech sobie znajdę drugą część i puszczę wam też drugą część tego ogłoszenia, które było wygłoszone pod koniec tego warsztatu.
In the process of changing this, it gives the essence of the teaching than actual physical teaching. What they understood and what, or maybe AI understood from it, which we know AI is not perfect yet, but it needs to be read and be adjusted. And that is very interesting to see. Very interesting to see knowledge seekers are putting these kind of knowledges out. And I know the Chinese community is working heavily on the AI side of the Keshe Foundation work. And we'll see how the whole thing takes shape. There is an announcement which we'll make in the coming week or two, but I'll give you an insight into it. If you have ever produced, if you are selling Keshe Foundation products, if you taking part of the Keshe Foundation work and you modify it the way you do, or you thought you can do, or you're producing materials that you sell, or you're trying to sell with Ganses or whatever, you run a small website shop, or you have a shop, you make the materials or whatever, you're a manufacturer, you produce it yourself, not that you buy it from the Keshe Foundation and put it on your website. Send a message to us, who you are, what you sell, and we will bring all of you. There's a huge number of people they sell this. We reckon there are about 400 groups around the world, but now I think it's over 2,000-3,000 people who are doing it, maybe more. We will announce this further. We give you an opportunity, huge opportunity. We are not looking to demolish you. We are there to help you to build it up. Even those who stole what do you call it, Italian group who stole our factory and everything they done and they're trading under. If you still got their shops and they thought they could, get in touch with Keshe Foundation through a line which will be provided in the next couple of weeks. We are bringing all the Keshe Foundation suppliers under one license. We certify you, you sell out your goods. And this will come in the next few months as one massive, what you call Amazon product range of the worldwide Keshe Foundation. You can trade with each other. If somebody wants something, you see something, you don't need to pay. You would pay through coin, cash coin, which means the exchange rate, these things doesn't come into it. And then the plan is to set up a delivery system that all of you pay the same price across the world to your customers. So you get the license, you get the certification, you get authorization, and it allows you to increase your productivity or your income. We are not here to destroy, we are here to bring a massive expansion to Keshe Foundation. As I said, there's a lot of things happening in the background, but you go on the license. This way, you work safe. This way, you can increase productivity, buy from discount directly from the others and add it to your website in your language. And it creates a market for many of you. And that's the purpose of the Keshe Foundation. Then it depends on you how you want to compensate this for the other knowledge seekers, how you come to an agreement, or we come with a general agreement. If knowledge seekers manufacturing trade between each other, this is what you're going to get, and it'll be paid through a structure set that you're not worried, I sold them, they didn't pay me or whatever, or they would do the wrong material. We give you a certification that you are bona fide. You don't have to have a factory. A lot of you make it in the garage and in the bedroom and the rest of it. We support you to make this, but most probably it's hundreds of you, thousands of you out there who do it. We are aware of, we thought about 400, but now we start tapping into internet, watching what people do. You might mix with other technologies, this technology. We still give we give you a platform to increase your, what do you call it, your income, your sales. And this is going to happen in the next few months. So we're going to gather this. We give you an email to go into, and then we leave it to you how much you want to donate as part of your income, which comes into central platform to the foundation that allows others to be expanding. And as we do, we always go back into the foundation and to the community. So if you are, even our resellers, we have different kind of agents and reseller groups. Each one benefits different way. You still can advertise on it. It's not that somebody else sells the material of Keshe Foundation 2 villages down me or in the next city. Each one of you get your own people, know how you produce, what is to their benefit. So get in touch, we give you, just don't, I mean, leave it to you to think about it. In the next few weeks, we announce it. The new platform for this will be established. Does not matter what you do or done, but you have to follow the procedure. Then it gives you, and then we guarantee your work. That gives you credibility. It doesn't matter if you make it in the kitchen, and it gives you an income, your orders, and if you set up a factory to deal with the farmers and the rest. We endorse our producers, the people who produce, and at the same time, you can tap into the back of the TV education and increase your market. You can go to a farm and say, this is what it is. They want credibility. We put those videos from other suppliers, other people on it, which allows you in, let's say, South Africa, to have, because now you have the support of the guy who done it in China. This is the support, this is the video of it. You can build huge markets, and we are there to support you. So if you are what I call been working and selling against here and Maghreb there and whatever, or if you want to put conferences and congresses, we give you that platform. It'll be established, and once you carry the logo, we will deliver to you, and the QR code allocated to you. You're safe, you can produce, we back you, and anything else we can support you with. So think about it in the next few weeks, and we give you an address, all of you. Doesn't matter, you're a seller, you're agent, you make things at home, you classify yourself. We're gonna put people in charge of this, to be said, that a platform for you lot who are producing at home. If you're a wife, housewife, and you produce cancers or whatever, any additional income, we support you to become. Gradually you might become a factory owner and all sorts of things, or you become, through the structure, agent of somebody else who's selling the product you can sell. We joining all the forces of the Keshe Foundation worldwide as of this year as part of the expansion of world peace. And this has many advantages to you and for the work you do in your communities. Thank you very much for today, and I hope we all learned a little bit more about our own way to our Creator, which was all of you wanted to find it. But now we have to give it the tools to do it. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
No dobrze, moi drodzy, to by było chyba w sumie na tyle, jeżeli chodzi o tłumaczenia. A tutaj też chciałbym podziękować przy okazji wszystkim osobom gdzieś tam zgromadzonym i pochylającym się nad tymi tłumaczeniami. Czy ktoś chciałby coś tutaj powiedzieć? Okej, jeśli nie, to dziękuję Wam za bycie dzisiaj podczas tego wykładu i do zobaczenia na przestrzeni w niedzielę, kolejną nadchodzącą niedzielę. Pozdrawiam, pa.
Dziękuję bardzo, dobranoc.
Dobranoc, dziękuję.